Hello, everyone. I am Professor Marcos Santos, and I coordinate the activities of the Operational Research House. And today, we're going to learn about PrOPPAGA method and how to use the software, where we can calculate the results from the method, even if we don't know so much math or so much operational research. Hello, Commander. How's it going?
Thank you, everyone. I'm Felipe Barbosa, and I'm gonna show how's the algorithm of the PrOPPAGA method.
Okay, excellent. Today, my guest is Commander Felipe Barbosa dos Santos. Felipe Barbosa dos Santos? Oh, yes, Felipe Barbosa dos Santos. Yes. Naval Engineer from São Paulo University and Bachelor of Science in Naval Science from Naval Academy. He is currently studying a master's degree in Defense Engineer at Military Institute of Engineers, working on research to support decision-making in multi-criteria problems. Thanks so much to accept my invitation to talk about PrOPPAGA method and software and the software where we can calculate the results from the method. First, take a little bit about yourself, your studies, your family, your hobbies, and so on. Where are you from? You're from Brazil?
Yeah, I'm from Brazil, natural from Pará.
Pará, oh, excellent, wonderful.
Yeah, in the middle of the jungle, the Amazon forest.
Excellent.
And I came to Rio de Janeiro when I was 16 years old to study at the Navy.
High school in CN.
Yeah.
CN or AN?
CN.
CN, 16 years old.
Yeah. And I stay here since this, so it's I spent my entire life here. Just 3 years I spent in São Paulo when I was studying naval engineer, and then I come back to Rio, and my wife's from here, and my child was born here.
How many kids do you have?
I have two children. Two boys.
Two boys? How old?
Yeah.
How old are
they? One is 10 years old and the other is almost 4.
Oh my goodness. It's an adventure.
Yeah.
A good adventure.
Yeah, the mastering studies at the
they are like, how can I say? Live wires. There is a slang in English. Live wires is like very activity, very.
Yeah, it's something like this.
Like the mask, the movie about the mask.
It's a kind of a superhero.
So let's talk about the PrOPPAGA method. First, when should I use this method? What kind of problem can I solve using the method?
Well, we can solve a lot of kinds of problems. We're gonna talk about the multi-criteria decision, okay. And then when we talk about it, we need to understand what is the multi-criteria decision. Always we have a problem that has more than one alternative to solve the problem, but these alternatives they have a conflict of interest. By then we can use the multicriteria decision analysis. And so PrOPPAGA is a kind of method of the multicriteria decision analysis. And we can solve particularly problems when we have conditions of certain problem. So we must know the information about the alternatives to use the PrOPPAGA. So if we don't know, for example, a price of something, it's not able to use the PrOPPAGA. We must know the performance of the alternatives in which criteria. So I think it's the most problem that we have to use the PrOPPAGA is
And
when
there
we
is
don't
no limit to alternatives and criteria.
no limits. Actually, if you have more alternatives, I think that the PrOPPAGA perform better than if we have
Another method.
less alternatives. Yeah, we're gonna see that the potential is
And
better when we have
is a
lot of
great advantage about the method.
yeah.
You can work with many alternatives and many criteria. No
Yeah.
limits.
Yeah, actually, I gonna use to my master degree case study when I will use the PrOPPAGA to the military evaluation. Yeah, and I gonna use with 36,000 of alternatives case. So
36,000.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's so many alternatives.
Many alternatives. So and it make easy to PrOPPAGA to use with a lot of alternatives.
And did the method work well with 36,000 alternatives?
Yeah, we don't have any problem to use them.
Wonderful. And I have studied, I have read about so many methods. We have, I don't know, 100, 200. We have a lot of different methods about multicriteria. And many methods are so hard mathematically. And I have had the perception that the structure from the PrOPPAGA method is very simple to understand.
Yeah.
If you study about elective method, Tops's method, and many others, you will see that these methods are so hard to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And my perception, because I had this perception about the structure of the method is very simple, and I like the method with the how can I say, a statistics notion inside the method.
Yeah.
When you have to normalize the values in each criterion. It's very interesting because we carry this notion, this perception from the university, you don't need the opinion from any decision maker, from any,
Yeah, I think it's a good point of the method, because I'm from the Navy, so when I developed the method, I was thinking about in the other methods, how could I explain to my boss the method and convince them to use. So PrOPPAGA is very easy to understand and very easy to apply. And I think that makes the method can be used for everyone, even if the person doesn't study MCDA.
So much math. Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think the first paper about the method is yours, isn't it? In Procedural Computer Science.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And did you develop the software too?
Yeah, we have a website where we can apply the math.
You will show the website for us.
Yes, I'm gonna show the website, okay. And we can do an example to show how the math
the software
works. Yeah.
Yeah. And how long did the software develop take? How long time?
To develop the software?
Yes. A year.
Yeah, a problem, a little bit less than a year.
Less than 1 year. Oh, good, fast.
Yeah.
And what programming language did you code? R, Python, C?
PHP. I'm not a programmer, so
okay,
it's very hard to me.
If it is working, okay, no problem.
Yeah, it's working. It's not so beautiful, not
okay.
so
no problem.
It's so amazing, but it's working.
If working, yeah. Exactly, absolutely. Well, make yourself at home. Let's get started.
Okay. So I'm gonna talk about the PrOPPAGA method. It's acronym to in Portuguese for observe the priority from the presumption of an Gaussian attitude of the alternatives. Okay. But first, I'd like to talk about decision making. That is the kind of problem that we solve with the PrOPPAGA. When I said early, decision making is a problem when we have more than 2 alternatives to solve a problem, and these alternatives have a conflict of interest between them. For example, I'm gonna choose the most beautiful car or the cheaper car. It's a kind of problem. If I just analyze 2 criterion, beautiful, business, and the price, I will solve the problem with these 2 questions. And how many cars I'm gonna analyze? If I have 10 cars, someone will be the cheaper, but probably won't be the most beautiful. So it's the kind of problem that decision-making analysis came to solve, okay? And a lot of methods were developed for the scientists, and we have 2 schools about methods: an American schools and the European schools. The American schools, it's based on the ordinating of the alternative. We're gonna have a ordinating in the end, and we have a Chemp's alternative. The European schools talk about the I forgot the word in English, preference of alternative. We're gonna work with preference. This is more preferable than other. And we're gonna talk about relationship between alternatives. So PrOPPAGA is a American school method, and we have the aggregation as way of do this ordination of alternatives. So we're gonna have here, for example, how can I put the pencil here? Okay, here. So we have the alternatives here, and we have the criteria that will be used to decision making. For each criteria, we're gonna have a weighting associated to him here. And we're gonna have a matrix where it's P here. It's the performance of the alternative in each criterion. For example, here, P22 is the performance of alternative 2 on criterion 2. Okay, in the end, we're gonna have the aggregation of these weightings and the matrix. As a result, we're gonna have these global values that will indicate the cardinality of each alternative, and this cardinality will be used to compare the alternatives and have a final result. Okay, so let's talk about PrOPPAGA step by step. First of all, we need to define which criteria will be used. So we're gonna define it. It's a subjective step. The decision maker need to know what kind of criteria he will use in the decision making, and how many criteria he gonna use. You need to know they are quantitative or qualitative. If it's quantitative, it's monotonic in terms of cost or gain. And after this, we must order then the criterion by importance. So it's an example. We have 5 criteria, and we order them by importance. So criterion 3 is the most important. Criterion 2 and criterion 1 has the same importance. Criterion 5 is more important than criterion 4. Okay. Then we gonna set a score for each criterion. So it's important to say that the score for the most important criterion, it's a relationship that we can say X mass is equal 7 if n less or equal to 7. where n is the number of criterion. In this case, we have 5 criterion, so S maximum is 7, and n if n more than 7. So if you have 12 criterion, the S maximum will be 12, and so we must put 12 here. Okay, but in this case we have just 5, so the most important criterion receive as a score the 7. Okay, and the others criterion we receive other scores, but we can have gaps. It's not necessary put 6, 7, 5, and 4. No, we can put 6, 7, 5 here. Could be 5 here. Could be 3 here, and could be 1 here. It's not. We don't need to put in a sequence. Okay. Then we set the weight of each criterion. It's we're gonna do this sum 7 plus 6 plus 6 plus 5 plus 3 equal to 27. Then 7 divided by 27, 6 divided by 27. Okay, so it is the result of this division and is the weight of each criterion. Okay, then we take the alternatives and we're gonna have the decision matrix. Important to note that performance are not in the same unit of measure, because this we need to normalize. That's the next step. Okay, so here we're gonna see what can I say about the Gaussian behavior. For each criterion, we can have a different Gaussian curve, okay? But for everyone, we're gonna have area equal to 1 under the curve, okay? And in this example, we have the blue curve and the green curve with the same median, same mean, but they have a standard deviation different. The green one has a standard deviation larger than blue one. The green curve and the red curve has the same standard deviation, but the mean of the red one is meaner than the green one. Okay. And the normalization, we're gonna have the performance of the alternatives in the X here. So we're gonna have D11, D21. So it's the criterion 1, for example, D31, D41. So we're gonna take the mean and the standard deviation. We're gonna have the red curve, that's a Gaussian curve, and this area is the normalized value of the alternative here. Okay, so it's the normalization. It gives the name of the method. Take a look that we don't need to prove that the alternative has a Gaussian behavior. it's not necessary do any kind of test to check this, because even if the alternative don't have a Gaussian behavior, the method is going to work because they have a distribution here in this X, and the Gaussian curves is above all the X, so it's not important to check if it's what kind of distribution has the alternative. Okay, we just presumption. We just have the presumption that's a Gaussian behavior. Okay, and it's the equation. It's not a beautiful equation to do, but it's very simple to solve it with an spreadsheet, electronic spreadsheet, and we developed the website to do this calculation for everyone too, as well. Okay, so we're gonna have the last step, that's aggregation, when we gonna take the weights here, the weights, and we're gonna have the performances. Okay, in the end, we're gonna have the global values, and it's the cardinality of each alternative. Okay, so it's the method. It's very simple to say what you do, but I think that's is more interesting to understand, do something in the example. And it's here is the website to have access to the software. Okay, everyone can access. It's for free. And what's this? Let's go. Here we have the first page of the website. We can put this in English to facilitate the use. We have more than 3,000 hits here. So to use the method, we're gonna need to just answer some question. For example, what kind of decision do you need to take? What kind of problem we're gonna solve, Professor? Let's talk about think about a problem to solve. A mobile, for example. What mobile I need to buy? How many criteria will you use? So here I'm gonna define the criteria that I gonna use. So it's the first step of the method. We can use 1, 2, 3. How many criteria I desire? So let's do the example with, I don't know, 4 criteria. Is okay, Professor? So what criteria are you going to use? So now we're gonna say, for example, price. And I need to say if price is a quantitative or qualitative criteria. In this case, it's a quantitative. And if it's quantitative, I must say if I look for the maximum value or the minimum. In this case, price is the minimum value. the criterion 2 could be the battery duration. So it's a quantitative, but here I'd like to the maximum value of the battery. So the third criteria could be builds. I'd like a very beautiful mobile, but here I don't have any way to say to have a grade to build. So it's a qualitative criterion. The other criteria can I use here? The weight. I'd like a mobile that's not be so weighty. So it's a quantitative, and I'd like to have the minimum value here. So I'm going to define the importance of each criterion to the decision taking here. I'm gonna put the price as the most important, the builds as the second most important, battery duration as the third, and weight here as the two importance here. And the weight of the criteria was defined, and I will see the weight in the end of the use of the software. So I'm gonna put the alternatives. So I will put here iPhone 13. It's $999. 6 hours of duration. And the weight, I have no idea, but let's put here 140 grams. So I press plus, and iPhone 13 stay here. We're gonna put Xiaomi 12. The price $700. Battery duration, let's put 8 hours. But let's put the weight here, for example, 150. And then another alternative, Samsung, one. Price, 500. Battery duration, 10 hours. And the weight, 240. So, okay, we have 3 alternatives here. The next step is talk about the build, because the build we don't have any value to put in the step, the pre-release step. So I think that iPhone is 5 in build. Actually, every mobile today is very very look like each other. I don't know what I'm gonna say. They are equal, but let's put iPhone as 5, Xiaomi as 3, and Samsung as 4. Okay, just an example. And when I put next, it gives me the answer of this problem based on the information that I put in the software. So I have the alternatives here in the top, the criteria in the top, with the grades that was defined and the weight of which criteria. And then we have the average and standard deviation for each criterion, okay? And based on value reported, we're gonna have the value normalized. Here we put the value with a 10 factor of multiplicity to make it more easy to see the difference between values. So for example, the price, the average is 733. All mobiles that have a price less than the average has a grade more than 5. So Xiaomi has almost 5, and Samsung, that's much more cheaper than the average, has a good grade here, 8. And iPhone, as the most expensive, has a very bad grade here in this criteria. And it's the criteria most important. So it's probably has a very strong importance to the cardinality of the Samsung as the best solution. Okay. So we have the build, the battery duration, and the weight here in the yellow grades. Okay. Normalized with grades between 0 and 10 here in this case, but just because we multiply the value, and the final grade here, that's the aggregation between these yellow grades with the yellow weight here. Okay. And the answer, the final answer is the final grade, told us that Samsung 21 is the best mobile with this criteria and this information that I don't know if it's true, okay? So it's just an example, please. Okay, Professor. So I think this that we can show to everyone about the...
Can we make another example? I wrote on a paper here.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay. Let's see.
Can I share my screen?
Okay.
Okay. Let's see another example. Let's see another example. To use the software, I need the decision matrix. Yeah. So, for instance, I need to buy a car.
Okay.
No, doesn't matter. Oh, I think my pen doesn't work. Oh my goodness, I don't know. Hold on a sec. Hold on. I will close and open again. Let's see here in Zoom. Share whiteboard. Are you seeing my whiteboard?
Yes, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's right. For instance, I need, okay. I need to buy a car. And normally, first, we think about the criteria. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, the criteria. For example, I need cost is important to me, and trunk, because I have a big family, two kids, my wife, mother-in-law, dogs,
Everybody.
everybody.
Dogs.
So I need a big
Yes.
trunk. And security items, and comfort items, and design. So here we have four quantitative criteria in this case. Quantitative, and here we have a qualitative.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we need to fill in the decision matrix, except the design. Yes. So
Yes.
we have cost, trunk, security, comfort, and oh my goodness. I think I raised. Oh no, thanks God. Comfort and design. And for example, I have, so then we have five criteria. So for instance, we have four cars, car one, car two, car three, and car four. So here we have our decision matrix. And for example, $30,000 real, whatever you want. 30,000, 45,000, 21,000, and 28,000. So trunk in liters, volume.
Could be liters.
In liters. I think 700 liters, 500, 300, and 400. So we can see a clear trade-off between the alternative, because the most expensive has a big trunk. So
Yeah.
I need to decide what is important to me.
The cost or the trunk?
Yeah. Security, for instance, 18, 15, 10, and 7. Comfort items, 11, 12, 15, and 9. And design, I understood that I don't need a fill in the decision matrix now, because I need to establish the value and the score, like you said.
Okay.
So we have 4 cars, so the score, the N is 7, because 4 is less than 7.
Yes.
So I will choose a value 1 to 7, because
it's a 7 scale, the 7-point scale.
we have 4 cars, so and 4 cars as 4. I forgot.
No, but it's just for the criteria. For the design, it's not important. We're gonna have
compare the alternatives, because here we have qualitative. We don't have the number.
Yeah.
So
we have just a 7-point scale.
7 points. Okay, from 1 to 7.
Yes.
Because N is equal or no?
No. Just for the weight criterion, we're gonna use the value of any criteria.
Okay.
Here
okay.
in this case, we just have the 7 scale.
So alternatives, I always use 7, from 1 to 7.
We use it to say that 4 is to the average, and 5 is if it's just a little bit more than average. 6 is the very good, and 7, don't use 7, even 1.
Okay, I got it. So let's give you so 7, 4, 2, and 1. Okay. We can fill in the decision matrix in the software. Take a print screen. How can I say? No.
Yeah, I had taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think in English we don't say print screen. It's a short screen. Short screen.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think a mobile.
I think short screen. I forget. So so let's go. You can.
So first we must define the criterion importance. Okay. Where's the website? What's happening here? Okay. So let's go. what car I must buy. So we're gonna use 5 criteria, right? 5 criteria. Go ahead, my friend. I don't know what happened here. What's gonna happen? I think my problem is the internet. Yeah. Problem, friend. Just a minute. Let me try to solve this.
Again. Did you get the screenshot? Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you get the screenshot with the values?
No. The websites don't.
Out of work?
I think but I think the problem is I'm not sure it's my internet.
Yes.
It's some kind of
Let me see.
problem.
PrOPPAGA. So it is working.
Yeah.
The software is working. I see now.
Yeah. Let's try again.
Oh yeah.
Let's. It's very slowly.
I can try in my computer. Oh my goodness.
I don't know why.
Oh, okay. In English, next.
Let's try again.
What decision? Car.
Car. I must buy. How many criteria? 5.
How many criteria? In this case, we have 4 or 5. Okay.
5.
Cost.
So, cost.
Trunk.
That's quantitative, and gonna have the meaning.
And we must say if the criterion is quantitative or qualitative.
Quantitative or qualitative. Here we're gonna have
trunk quantitative.
Security
quantitative.
Quantitative maximum.
Comfort quantitative.
Comfort.
And design qualitative.
So
second step.
define the weight of each criterion.
Each criterion.
Which criteria is the most important? Cost, trunk, cost and trunk could be.
Okay.
We can put here as a kind of
security,
drop.
comfort 4, and design 3, 2. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. Next.
So, car 1.
Now we have to fill in the values.
Yeah. So
Decision
here,
matrix.
okay, 30,000.
30,000.
500.
I think 400. Yes. That's right.
12.
Plus
This car 2 cost 45,000. 700 security 18. Comfort 11. Car 3 cost 21. Trunk 200. Security 10. Comfort 15. Car 4 cost 28. Trunk 100. Security 7. Comfort 9. Plus. So we finish here. So let's talk about design now. Designing car 1's 5.
And now we work with a scale from 1 to 7.
Yeah. 2 and here.
Okay.
Okay. Next. So the answer we're gonna have.
Oh, dude. Very good. Very simple. Fast. Very
fast.
easy.
Car 1 is the first option. Take a look. It's not the cost is the most important criterion. Car 1 is not the cheapest.
Absolutely.
But the trunk, they have a very good grade here. It's a how can I say average car? Isn't the average?
Absolutely. A standard.
A standard, yeah. He is the standard.
However, we have many equations running behind the software. The use is very simple, very fast. You need to know. So you need to know the, how can I say, the general concept about the method, PrOPPAGA method. In what situations I can use, but I think you don't need to be a scientist, a statistician.
To use that.
Everybody can use. You can try. So
it's very easy.
Like I say to my students, dip your toes in the water. Try again. Dip your toes in the water. So it's very fast, very simple, very easy to use. the software that you developed at Military Institute of Engineering. Congrats, congrats. Kudos.
Thank you.
Exit. Okay, very good. Wonderful.
Okay.
So, like we watched, the method is very useful. We can use in many different situations. I can use the method for operational problems, tactical problems, strategic problems. And the method is, we use a little bit of math, but with this tool, this software that the commander, that the Felipe developed, is very easy to use to apply the PrOPPAGA method. You know, I think it is important tools like that, because sometimes it's so hard to work with mathematical models. So this platform allows that everyone can use the method. You only need to fill in the values and the software calculate the result quickly. In addition, I've realized that you don't need to download any software.
Yeah.
You don't need to download any software. It already runs directly in the browser. It's wonderful. And Commander, thanks so much for your presentation. It was an honor for us to have you here today.
Thank you for the opportunity.
So, and my friends, thanks so much for watching this video. If you like it, give us your thumbs up and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And we have more than 400 classes about other methods, other operational research methods, graph theory, Q theory, linear programming, simulation, and many other areas, operational research areas. So you can learn about whatever you want. So see you later. Have a nice weekend.